Over on the outside is Do-Raw Boy, driven by Ty Bates, and back to second is Truly Noble. Racing third down the backside, that's He's Coming In Hot, driven by Pierce Henry. Fourth, it is McNightmare, driven by Mark Hedworth. Moving up fifth now is Rally Your Crew, driven by Art McElmurray. The last horse, Del Carr, driven by Hank Levan. First quarter was paced in 32 and 1/5 seconds. Now off stride goes McNightmare. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Do-Raw Boy by 2 lengths over Truly Noble. Edging up on the outside third, it's He's Coming In Hot. Fourth as they come down to the half-mile mark, that's Rally Your Crew. Fifth is Del Carr, the last horse, McNightmare. Past the half-mile mark, Truly Noble now takes over, dropping back second, Do-Raw Boy. First half paced in 1:04 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside, they race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Truly Noble. The closest horse second along the rail is Do-Raw Boy. On the outside third, moving up as He's Coming In Hot. Fourth, it is Rally Your Crew. Then farther back, fifth is Del Carr, the last horse, McNightmare. Going to that 3/4 mile mark, that's Truly Noble with the lead. On the outside second is He's Coming In Hot along the rail third, Do-Raw Boy, and right there fourth is Rally Your Crew. 3/4 in 1:34 and 4/5. And now Truly Noble opens up about 4 lengths on Do-Raw Boy. Moving up third along the rail is Rally Your Crew, and back to fourth now as He's Coming In Hot. As they race toward home, that's Truly Noble and Do-Raw Boy. Truly Noble and Do-Raw Boy. Looks like the money for this race is going to go to LaSalle and Adrian, Michigan with Truly Noble. Up for second is Do-Raw Boy. Up for third, Rally Your Crew. Time of the mile, 2:02 and 4/5. The last quarter in 28 seconds. And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from LaSalle and Adrian, Michigan, comes number 4, Truly Noble. Owned by Jennifer Vollmer and Brian Boring. Trained by Brian Boring. And driven to victory this evening by Greg Bateson. Very fine time of 2:02 and 4/5 in the first lifetime start for Truly Noble. There are the official placings for race 2 from the top. Number 1, Do-Raw Boy was second. Number 2, Del Carr was sixth. Number 3, Rally Your Crew was third. Number 4, Truly Noble was the winner. Number 5, McNightmare was fifth. At number 6, He's Coming In Hot was fourth. Time of the first quarter was 32 and 1/5. The half was in 1:04 and 1/5. The 3/4 in 1:34 and 4/5, with a mile in 2:02 and 4/5. From the top it should read 2:63.154, a mile in 2:02 and 4/5. The last half in 58 and 3/5 seconds. The last quarter in 28 seconds.
Well, Truly Noble, trained by Brian Boring. They were just talking about the Borings, but we let the action speaks louder than words. That is a nice filly. It's a Nob Hill High filly, colt I should say, out of the Panda Rosa. And coming last quarter, 28 seconds flat. And she was just airing. Nice filly. Roger,
Yeah,
you remember, you've seen Nob Hill High race. He was a nice animal. It was Shannon Stead now here in Ohio.
yeah. The mare, this one, truly Rosa. You know, you mentioned Chris Boring earlier. There is an individual that belongs in the Harness Racing's Hall of Fame. And I can never understand.
In the upcoming race 3, number 6, Cinderati. The driver is Mark Hedworth. Mark Hedworth driving number 6.
Yeah, I remember Chris in Florida many years ago. How many years ago? I'm not going to mention, but many years ago. But always a talented teamster, a good trainer, and always had good horses. Definitely, but a nice filly. Nice colt. Yeah.
Third race coming up, 2-year-old filly trotters. 6 of them to go postward. Did you get that driver change in the third?
Who's driving the third? No, I didn't get. I'll grab that. I'm tied up. I'm wrapped up in wires right now. I don't see too much, but.
Well, you'll be all right as long as you don't get it wrapped around your neck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
or around your feet and try to walk.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the filly trot. There's only coming up. There's really there's 2 in here that got a line on them, qualifying lines. But this is going to be interesting. So we're about ready for the post parade.
I don't think we got them all out on the track as yet.
There are a lot of horses out here, though. Great weather up here. It's pristine. I mean, it's clear, nice breeze. It's just like almost like a summer day, but it is beautiful. And Paulding is a real nice little town. And when I say little, it's about 3,500 people. But they're nice, they're friendly. Everywhere you go, people nod, say hi. What are you doing in my town? No, but very nice town. And the folks up here at the fairgrounds are treating us great. They're doing a good job. The track's in great condition. They're always out there working on it. So plaudits to the track crew.
Couldn't have asked for 2 better days for racing to kick off the fair season here in the Buckeye State.
Yes, all these green horses up here. First time they're going by the grandstand, and they're a little hesitant, but
Your tents to the barns. We're now ready for your horses for race 3.
There we go. Here's Bill Peters. He's going to be calling you the post parade.
Turn your mic on. Instead of
At Sentara Co-op, we share your passion for your horses. We have the feed and supplies you need to care for your equine athletes. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition continue their partnership to help Ohio horsemen and horsewomen with innovative feeding solutions. Expert horse nutrition and care is available from our equine specialists. Call 419-281-2153 for more information. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition, a winning combination for your horses.
It's time for Tex Trivia, live from Paulding, Ohio. What Hall of Fame driver is known as the Buckeye? Is it A, John Campbell, B, David Miller, or C, Billy Houghton? The first and the 8th correct text to 614-633-5554 wins a prize from the Ohio Harness Horsemen. Good luck. Send me a letter. We have a winner, and the correct answer was B, David Miller. The native of Reynoldsburg, Ohio, is the second winningest money-earning driver in harness racing, with earnings of over $260 million. He's second behind John Campbell, but he's tops in Ohio in earnings and money. And he's known affectionately as David Miller, the Buckeye.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
I guess we have to do that for our listening audience out in all throughout the world. We have to do that, Stump the Experts again. We had a question submitted by Deb DeSantis of Springfield, Ohio, to Stump the Experts. She said, Gene Abbey, the very prolific sire who stood at Pickwick Farms at Bucyrus and sired over 1,300 foals. The question was, who were his 2 fastest sons? Both had marks of 154 and 1/5, and the experts say it was Sly Attorney and Big Towner, and Tom Pye says that we're right. The experts were right, and Deb DeSantis did not stump the experts here tonight. Okay, let's get them together to line up the parade here for race 3.
In his third race, the 6, Cinderati, make the driver Mark Hedworth. Mark Hedworth drives the 6, Cinderati.
Our start parading postword for race 3. That's the first division of the 2-year-old filly trot, going for a purse of $3,549. Number 1 is For My Lady, owned by E.G. Trot, LLC of Findlay, Ohio, trained and owned by Ed Greeno Jr. Number 2 is She's a Hard Rock, owned by Harvey Byer of Clara, Michigan, trained by Ken Hess, the driver of John Moody. Number 3 is Can, owned, trained and owned by Roy Burns of Milford Center, Ohio. Number 4 is Air Jordan L, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated and Hank Levan of Woodstock, Ohio, and Max Perry of Cable, Ohio, trained and driven by Hank Levan. Number 5 is Princess Abbey, owned, trained and driven by Jim Burris of Rudolph. And number 6 is Cinder Addy, owned by Janine Liu of Archbold, trained by Bruce Forker, the driver Mark Hedworth. The only 2 in this race that have seen the gate are number 1, For My Lady, and number 6, Cinder Addy. For My Lady raced in a qualifier at Saturday Downs on June 8th, trotted a mile in 2:06 and 2/5. And number 6, Cinder Addy, was in the Delaware qualifiers last week and trotted a mile in 2:04 and 2/5. The other 4 are making their first start behind the gate. The number 3 horse, K-Ann, is wearing trotting hobbles. Trotting hobbles on the number 3 horse, K-Ann.
Two-year-old filly trot, For My Lady. She's a Hard Rock, K-Ann, Air Jordan L, Princess Alley, Cinderati. Now all the by well-known Don't You Forget It, Cayenne, Break the Bank, clocked at 80. Springfield clocked 80 was by Donato Hanover, and this filly's out of a Malabar mare, which is very good breeding, and it's bred by Chester Miller here in Ohio. Of course, the one that stands out, there's two with their already got qualifying miles on it, Former Lady in Cinder Alley. Now, Roger, do you remember, of course, Pet Rock and Rockin' Amadeus and
Also leading it down the backside on the way with it, 4 Mile Lady, a little bit at the rail. Then comes She's a Hard Rock, KN, Air Jordan L, with Princess Abby on the outside in the first tier. One trailer, Cinder Alley.
here they come.
Here at Paulding, 5 on the gate.
There at the post, starting game is rolling now.
6-horse trailer from the second tier. Mike Wopkenberg, the official starter, probably starts more races in a single year than any other starter in the Buckeye State. Hank Levan and Air Jordan L. First to the gate in this 2-year-old filly trot. For the call, here's Bill Peters.
Here they come. They're off and trotting. That's KN going out after the lead along with Air Jordan L. Moving up along the rail third, that is She's a Hard Rock. On the outside fourth is Princess Alley, but off stride goes She's a Hard Rock. Making the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Roy Burns has KN on top by 2.5 lengths. Trotting second is Air Jordan L, driven by Hank Levan. Third is Princess Alley, driven by Jim Burris. A little farther back fourth comes Cinder Addy, driven by Mark Hedworth. Moving up on the outside fifth is 4 My Lady, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. And the last horse is She's a Hard Rock, driven by John Moody. Past that quarter-mile mark, that's KN by 3 lengths over Air Jordan L. First quarter trotted in 35 3/5 seconds. Racing around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's KN by 2 lengths over Air Jordan L. Still trotting third, it's Princess Alley. Fourth is 4 My Lady. Fifth is Cinder Addy. And farther back sixth is She's a Hard Rock. Front 5 pretty well bunched. They race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Roy Burns and KN bringing the horses down toward the half. Air Jordan L right in the golden chair second. Racing third is Princess Alley. Fourth is 4 My Lady. And fifth is Cinder Addy. And farther back sixth, that's She's a Hard Rock. First half trotted in 108 2/5, and now Air Jordan L goes off stride. That's KN with the lead. Moving up second now is Princess Alley. Up third is now 4 My Lady. Fourth is Air Jordan L. Cinder Addy trots in there fifth. The pace picks up now as they race down the backside toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's KN by 4 lengths. Closing in second now is Princess Alley. Third is 4 My Lady. Then comes Air Jordan L. Cinder Addy. Past that 3/4 mile mark, that's KN by 2 lengths now over Princess Alley. 3/4 in 142. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt, here comes Jim Burris and Princess Alley up on the outside to pour on the pressure on KN. But KN answers the call and trots right on. That's KN along the rail. Princess Alley on the outside, and 3 wide now comes 4 My Lady. As they race for home, that's KN and Princess Alley. KN and Princess Alley. Tight at the wire between Princess Alley and KN. Mile was in 2:13 2/5.
Princess Alley, James Burris up on the outside, battling with KN and Roy Burns in the stretch. It appears Princess Alley gets the win on the outside. Final half 105. Final quarter 31 2. 2-year-old filly by clocked at 80. Out of Alley J by Malabar Man. Hamiltonian winner.
There is a judge's inquiry in this race. There is a judge's inquiry in this race.
We had a number of breakers at the start of the race. Also past the half. Break going to the 5/8.
Bring Princess Alley back to the winner's circle.
So Princess Alley gets the win over Cayenne in the third of 13 this afternoon at the Paulding County Fair, Paulding, Ohio.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Rudolph, Ohio, comes number 5, Princess Alley. Home trained and driven to victory by Jim Burris. Let's have a big hand here for Jim Burris and Princess Alley.
Year than any other.
He trots in there 5th. The pace picks up now as they race down the backside toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Cayenne by 4 lengths. Closing in second now is Princess Alley. Third is For My Lady. Then comes Air Jordan now, Cinderati. Past that 3/4 mile mark, that's Cayenne by 2 lengths now over Princess Alley. 3/4 in 1:42. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt, here comes Jim Burris and Princess Alley up on the outside to pour on the pressure on Cayenne. But Cayenne answers the call and trots right on. That's Cayenne along the rail. Princess Alley on the outside, and 3 wide now comes For My Lady. As they race for home, that's Cayenne and Princess Alley. Cayenne and Princess Alley. Tight at the wire between Princess Alley and Cayenne.
In the decision shortly. We were watching the replay. I'm still wondering.
Appeared that they were looking at the action around the final turn coming home.
After side
Judges have reported that there was no violation of the rules or interference. There are the official place aids for race 3 from the town. Number 1, For My Lady was 4th. Number 2, She's a Hard Rock was 6th. Number 3, Cayenne was 2nd. Number 4, Air Jordanelle was 3rd. Number 5, Princess Alley was the winner. And number 6, Cinderati was 5th. Time in the first quarter was 35 3/5. The half was in at 108 2/5. The 3/4 in at 142. With a mile in 2:13 2/5. And the top should read 4:62.315, the mile in 2:13 and 2/5.
Princess Alley and James Burris winning this division of the 2-year-old filly trot.
Race 4, number 1, tugging on
Well, there, Roger, that was a little close quarters up from the last turn on, but Princess Alley literally was under the wraps. She looked good. And there's a Chester Miller's homebred by Clocked at 80. And she looked good. She's nice looking filly. But 2:13.2, time does not matter. The first couple of races during their career, because I've seen, Steady Star. He won his first race in 2:07. He ended up going a mile in 52.2, way back when. But so it was a good race.
You know, Tom, not to take anything away from Princess Alley, big effort, no question about it. But the one that impressed me was the 4, Air Jordan L by Break the Bank K, Hank Levant. If you remember, he's the one that made the break past the half, going to about the 5/8, lost a lot of ground, and then was very competitive coming home and only got beat about 2 lengths or so for it all.
Absolutely. Now, as again, these we make mental notes of these young horses, because I'm going to watch that one next week as well. But we got a good race coming up for the 4th, which is our 2-year-old colt pace. Another 7 horses, seven colts. There's one that has 2 has a charted line, and the 3 looks like 3 has a charted line. There's between the 3 and the 4. So we're going to word from our sponsor right now.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rockin' Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
When Paulding County was mapped out in 1820, it was named for John Paulding, who, as a 22-year-old sergeant in the militia during the American Revolution, was on patrol with fellow New Yorkers David Williams and Isaac Van Wert. They stopped the suspicious-acting gentleman as he was traveling south through the village of Sleepy Hollow. Although he offered a false name, he was actually John Andre, who was a major in the head of the British Secret Service, and out of uniform that morning on September 1780. The 30-year-old Andre carried American trader General Benedict Arnold's hidden plans to surrender his command of West Point to the British in exchange for a promised payment of £20,000. It was Paulding's 10-second pause that made him decide to search the nervous Andre and found the incriminating papers, thus thwarting the nefarious plans. The 3 were hailed as heroes throughout the young United States and were awarded farms, a yearly pension, as each had a county named for them in the new state of Ohio. Paulding, Williams, and Van Wert, located here in the northwest corner. In fact, most of our 88 counties in Ohio are named in honor of our American patriots, such as Virginia Governor Patrick Henry, General Israel Putnam of Connecticut, Governor John Hancock of Massachusetts, General and Dr. Hugh Mercer of Philadelphia. That's pretty lofty company for 3 young farmers from rural New York. It is an immense community pride that we share in the majestic city halls, as well as our county fairs. 66 of which have harness racing. We are the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and we are proud to be number one in the country in county fairs, number one with standardbreds foaled, number one in licensed trainers and drivers and owners. It is something that we take pride in and will continue to do so as we support our hometown places and our people. We are racing. We are Buckeye strong.
Our starting post word for race 4. This is the second division of the 2-year-old colt pace. Going for a purse of $3,078. One is Tugging on My Heart. On with the Deer Lake Stables LLC of Osseo, Michigan. Trained by Thad Doty, the driver, Greg Mason. Number 2 is Calvin L. All the Levan Stables Incorporated, Woodstock, Ohio. Trained and by Hank Levan. Number 3 is 6B Hanover. All by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio. Trained by Jim Lupton, the driver, Brandon Bartley. The 4 is Gray Fenton. All trained by Elpidio Bernardi Jr., Carrollton, Michigan. The driver is Josh Slater. 5 is Dick Dastardly. All by Jeff Badd and Paul Perdue of Defiance. Trained by Chad Williamson, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 6 is Willie's Last Wish. All by Tammy Grover of Swartz Creek, Michigan. Trained by Ken Hass, the driver, John Moody. Number 7 is KB Mack. All by Kenneth Saunders of White House, Ohio. John Saunders of Castle Rock, Colorado. Trained and by Dan Beatty. And a field of 7 2-year-old colt pacers. 3 of them have seen the gate before. The number 2 horse, Calvin L., raced in the Delaware qualifiers last week. Was placed first, finished second, placed first. His time was 2:04 1/5. The number 3 horse, 6B Hanover, also raced that day at Delaware, going pacing a mile in 1:59 2/5. And the number 4 horse, Gray Fenton, was in a qualifier at Northfield Park that same day and won in 2:02 4/5. The other 4 horses are first-time starters behind the gate.
Should be noted in that qualifier by Gray Phantom, 2-2 4. Final quarter, 28 2. Gray Phantom, 2-year-old gelding by Western Terror. The Strawberries on top by Cam Luck. Now 1 through 5 on the gate. 6 and 7 will be trailers in the second tier.
Yeah, that definitely Gray Phantom stands right out in the page to me. 2-2, last quarter 28 2. It's like at Northfield, half-mile track. Now, 6B Hanover, coming 28 4, 59 2 at Delaware. So we are going to see a good match race. I think they'll all be right there, but this is a excellent 2-year-old colt pace.
Brandon Bartley had a big win yesterday with trainer Jimmy Lupton on their Pet Rock colt. And to say the least, Brandon Bartley, who was ecstatic, as that was a homebred, and got the first win yesterday here at Paulding.
Absolutely.
There's
Bill Peters for the call of the 4th race from Paulding.
With Dick Dastardly on the outside in the first tier. 2 trailers, Willie's Last Wish, and KB Mack. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
Notice on the starting gate they use the inside wing, 1 through 5. The outside wing is closed because the track is not wide enough to have both wings wide open.
Facing is Gray Fenton going out after the lead along with Calvin L. Between horses, 3rd is 6B Hanover. Moving up 4th is KB Mack. 5th is Dick Dastardly. Facing in there 6 is Tugging on My Heart. And the last horse racing around the turn is Willie's Last Wish. As they head down the backside of the race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Josh Slater has Gray Fenton on top by 2 lengths. Along the way to second, that's Calvin L, driven by Hank Levan, but flying up on the outside is 6B Hanover, driven by Brandon Bartley. He's now second and going after the leader. Past that quarter-mile mark, that's Gray Fenton along the rail, pouring on the pressure on the outside. Second is 6 Hanover. First quarter paced in 30 2/5 seconds. That's still Gray Fenton with the lead now, taking over second along the rail is Calvin L. On the outside third, going the long mile is 6 Hanover. KB Mack is in there fourth. Fifth is Dick Dastardly. Racing sixth, coming down to the half is Tugging on My Heart. And the last horse is Willie's Last Wish. Approaching the half-mile mark, that's Josh Slater and Gray Fenton bringing the horses to the half. On the outside second, that is 6 Hanover. First half paced in 101 3/5. Rounding a turn to head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. All 7 pacers pretty well bunched. That is Gray Fenton with the lead. 6 Hanover on the outside, pouring on the pressure. Along the rail third is Calvin L. KB Mack moves up on the outside fourth. Fifth at the rail is Tugging on My Heart. Sixth at this point is Dick Dastardly. Racing seventh is Willie's Last Wish. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. KB Mack sticks his nose out in front on the outside. Coming back second along the rail is Gray Fenton. Third down along the rail is Calvin L. 3/4 in 133 2/5. Racing around that upper turn to head for Pater. Now Gray Fenton kicks into another gear and opens up a length and a half on KB Mack. Along the rail third is Calvin L. Tugging on My Heart is pacing fourth. As they race toward home, that's Gray Fenton and Calvin L. closing fast on the outside. Gray Fenton and Calvin L. It's Gray Fenton. Calvin L. up for second, KB Mack for third. A mile in 2:01.
27 3. Wow. Final quarter, 27 3 for Gray Phantom by Western Terror to Strawberries on top by Cam Luck. 2-year-old gelding. Winner here. 2-2 and 4 at qualifier at Northfield. Big mile today by Gray Phantom. Calvin L. second and KB Mack was third. Sixby Hanover got hung every step of the mile. It was not a factor in the final quarter. Is Josh Slater. Let it be known early on he wanted to go wire to wire.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Carlton, Michigan, comes number 4, Gray Fenton. Owned and trained by Elpidio Barney Jr. and driven to victory this evening by Josh Slater. Very fine mile for Gray Fenton, pacing a mile in 2:01, the last quarter in 27 3/5 seconds. Their official placing for race 4 for the top. One Tugging on My Heart was fourth. Number 2, Calvin L. was second. Number 3, 6 Hanover was fifth. Number 4, Gray Fenton was the winner. Number 5, Dick Dastardly was sixth. Number 6, Willie's Last Wish was seventh. And number 7, KB Mack was third. Time of the first quarter was 30 2/5. The half was in 101 3/5. The 3/4 in 133 2/5. With a mile in 2:01. For the top it should read 4:25.167. 3 on the bottom. A mile in 2:01.
That was a race right down to the wire with Gray Fenton and Calvin L. Hank Levin's well said 2-year-old gelding. But coming to quarter 28 piece. Mileage 2-1. Again, this time of year, excellent. It was there. His first lifetime start. And just like I think they look,
Tom,
yeah.
Coming home 27-3 is pretty good time for a county fair track.
Hey, we got
for
that right.
two-year-old, no matter what part of the year it is.
They were smoking. And Great Phantom is nice gray gelding. But he looks like these are the colts we're going to have to watch all year, because they get their starts here in the at the fairgrounds, and you could probably come September, October, you say, I remember when he started this going around Paulding, because the action starts here. But we'll be coming up soon. We have the seventh race, fifth race coming up soon, and that is for the 2-year-old filly trot, and 7 fillies in there, and be looking for, I like that Ed Greeno's. Here's a 5/8 mile track, and she just qualified 2 minutes flat, win by 20. But this is good. And in honor of Gray Phantom, let's remember the good times. Bill Peters.
Edwards driving number 2, winning Firefly. And the number 6 horse, Sweet Hope, has been scratched sick.
1 through 5 will still be on the gate. The 7 will slide in one spot, but remains a trailer in the second tier. First division of the 2-year-old filly trot was won by Princess Alley, James Burris, in 2:13-2. This is the second of 3 divisions of the 2-year-old filly trot this afternoon at the Paulding County Fair. Hey, Tom. Are you there, Tom?
Judge, the buyers are now ready for your horses for race 5.
Roger?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Sherald Haynes up in Michigan?
Harold Payne? No.
Names all of his horses Begonia.
Okay. Begonia. I see a couple of them around there. Harold. Sherald Haynes. Okay. Yeah. Now what's that? He's got a flower thing or what?
I have no idea. I've never met the gentleman, but he's always raced at Delaware, and usually 1 or 2 horses each year, and every single one of them's got Begonia.
Begonia.
In the name.
I think we're going to have to find out about that. See what they will put the I spy out for that. All right, we got a commercial playing now, don't we? A replay. Okay, about to do a commercial. Okay. Did you hear Roger? Roger.
Yes.
Did you hear Ghostbusters?
No, I didn't.
No, I'm trying to get creative here. I better calm down.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there! The racing program also contains information on the horse, its connections, and its past performance. The one is Gypsy Merlot. The trainer, Alan Tomlinson. The driver, Sam Widger. His colors, maroon and blue. For the year, 1,440 starts. His win percentage, 19%. Place percentage, 15%. And a show percentage of 13%. In harness racing, we have what is known as the Universal Driver Rating System. It's much like a baseball batting average. Sam Widger's percentage for the year, 317. The breeder is Alan Tomlinson. Gypsy Merlot is a bay mare, 4 years of age. The father is Phelan Frisky. The mother, Bronwyn Sealster, whose daddy is Western Maverick. The trainer, Al Tomlinson. Tomlinson's statistics, 191 starts. A win percentage of 16%, place percentage 20%, and the show percentage at 9%. The Universal Trainer Rating System gives him a percentage of 301. The totals for Gypsy Merlot: lifetime, 30 starts, 18 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. Earnings of $121,204. Took a mark of 151-2 at Hoosier Park as a 3-year-old. No starts in the year 2020. In 2019, however, 18 starts with 11 wins, 3 seconds, and 0/3. Earnings of $89,271, and of course took the mark of 151.
Owned and trained by Elpidio Bernardi Jr. of Carrollton, Michigan, the driver Josh Slater. Number 2 is Winning Firefly, owned by Rocking Meadow Stable, Grable, Indiana, trained by Merv Smucker, the driver Mark Hedworth. Number 3 is Me Too, Begonia, owned by Rick Estel of Oakwood and Pete Meyer of Handler, trained by Ted Williams and the driver Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Game On Girls, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, trained and owned by Ty Bates. Number 5 is St. Francis Irene, owned and trained by Bob Boggs of Marysville, Ohio, the driver Roy Burns. Number 6, Sweet Hope, has been drawn, and number 7 is Herculesa, owned by E.G. Trott, LLC of Findlay, trained and owned by Ed Greeno Jr. Of these 6 fillies here in race 5, the only one that has seen the gate is number 7, Herculesa, and she won a qualifier on June 8th at Cider Downs in 2 minutes flat.
Final quarter, 28-4 in that qualifier at Scioto. Had post 3 and went wire to wire.
And she's behind Estbel.
The number 1 horse, Abella, is not wearing trotting habits. No trotting habits on the number 1 horse, Abella.
Yep. Okay, but she'll be following Estbel out of there. Could be following Winning Firefly. But again, all the others in the first race, or the 5th race, are first-time starters. And anytime you have a 2-year-old filly qualifying 2 minutes flat, last quarter 28-4, expect better things. But she is a nice filly by MVP, my MVP. And I think we want want my MVP. So here's a word from our sponsor. Good segue?
Your mic's not hot.
Huh?
Your mic's on.
For those that are not familiar, 1 through 5 on the gate, the 6 horses scratched. Now the 7, Herculesa, Ed Greeno Jr., can leave out of there behind any one of those 5 horses.
Moving at the rail, and comes winning Firefly, Me Too Begonia. Game on Girls with St. Francis Irene on the outside in the first tier. 1 trailer, Herculesa.
And I am sure the driver, Ed Greeno Jr., is going to be quite aware of all those horses on that starting gate, because he appears to have the heavy favorite in this race, and he don't want to get too close to that front tier, because he appears to be a horse that can spot a number of these horses open lengths, still be safe. So you'd expect Herculesa and Ed Greeno Jr. to be very cautious going to the gate and kind of staying away from that horses on the gate. As you see, he's not even in the picture as yet.
There they come.
Playing well off the field.
That's Me Too Begonia going out after the other lead. At the rail second is Abella. Moving up on the outside third, that's St. Francis Irene. Out at the rail fourth is Winning Firefly. Moving up fifth is Herculesa. And the last horse is Game on Girls. Making the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Pierce Henry has Me Too Begonia on top by 2.5 lengths. Trotting second is Abella, driven by Josh Slater. Edging up on the outside third is St. Francis Irene. And 3 wide down the backside now goes Herculesa. And now Herculesa takes over as the race past the quarter-mile mark. And dropping back second is Me Too Begonia. First quarter was trotted in 34 2/5 seconds. Racing around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Herculesa, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. by 2 lengths. In the golden chair second is Me Too Begonia. On the outside third is St. Francis Irene. Along the rail fourth is Abella. Fifth is Winning Firefly. And the last horse as they come down to the half is Game on Girls. All 6 fillies pretty well bunched. They come to the half-mile mark. That's Ed Greeno Jr. and Herculesa on top by 2 lengths. At the rail second is Me Too Begonia. First half trotted in 106 3/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Herculesa. The closest horse second is Me Too Begonia. Up on the outside third now comes Abella. Dropping back fourth on the outside is St. Francis Irene. Along the rail fifth is Winning Firefly. And right there sixth is Game on Girls. Going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Herculesa by a length and a half over Abella with Me Too Begonia at the rail third. 3/4 in 139 1/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Herculesa by about 2 lengths now over Abella. And along the rail third is Me Too Begonia. As they race toward home, that's Herculesa, Me Too Begonia, and Abella. Herculesa and Me Too Begonia. Herculesa and Me Too Begonia. It's going to be Herculesa, and here they all come. Abella up for second, up for third, Me Too Begonia. First time of that mile was 2:08 3/5.
29 2 in the final panel. A very confident drive by Ed Greeno Jr., staying off the field at the start, immediately going to the outside, taking the lead and fighting off the challenge throughout the mile. Saw him coming to the half. If you took a look at the expression on Ed Greeno Jr.'s face, he was quite happy with the way things had got him to the halfway point, and very confident, to say the least. 2-year-old filly by MPV out of Hercula, Hanover. by Andover Hall. Tons the best, and Ed Greeno Jr. raced the filly like she was tons the best. Last half in 102.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Findlay, Ohio, comes number 7, Herculesa, owned by E.G. Trot LLC, and trained into the victory by Ed Greeno Jr.
He's still
Official
smiling.
placings for race 5 from the top. Number 1, Ibella was 2nd. Number 2, Winning Firefly was 4th. Number 3, Me Too Begonia was 3rd. Number 4, Game On Girls was 5th. Number 5, St. Francis Irene was 6th. Number 6, Sweet Hope had been drawn. And number 7, Herculesa was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 34 2/5. The half was in 106 3/5. The 3 quarters in 139 1/5. With a mile in 208 3/5. The television read 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, scratch, 1 on the bottom, a mile in 208 3/5.
Looked confident, very, very happy with that. She got a nice smile over the circle, looked at the camera, smiled, and I'd like to say, yes, she is kind of a nice filly. But Herculesa.
You know, you don't know what the season will be for Herculesa, but I'll guarantee you Ed Greeno Jr.'s got very high hopes for this 2-year-old filly trotter.
They're testing the marks. We're still need to know who's
He
driving.
shows it today, again, an easy winner. 2-8 3, the last quarter. And last half in 2, last quarter in 29 2. And just that she had all the good action of a nice trotter. All she wears is bell boots, scalpers, and trotting boots. A nice little filly. And little head swinging just side by side as she came for home. And that's what you want to see in a trotter. But we are coming up from a word to our sponsors. And Don, it's all up to you.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Paulding County is
The
nestled
racing
in the
program
northwest
also
section of
contains
Ohio, right along the Indiana border. This whole area was part of the lands that were ceded by Great Britain to the United States in 1783 after the American Revolution. In 1787, an ordinance for the government of the territory of the United States northwest of the River Ohio was created. it became known as the Northwest Territories and became the states of Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Chicago, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. The first permanent settlement in Ohio was at Marietta along the Ohio River in 1788, just across from what is now West Virginia. Ohio, incidentally, means Great River in the Iroquois language. Ohio achieved statehood in 1803, and the rugged and determined settlers continued their march westward by riverboat, on horseback, or by foot. In 1820, the county of Paulding was established. The year of 1840 saw but 2 families living in Paulding County, but it grew slowly and steadily. By 1860, Paulding's first county fair was held as a 2-day event in the village of Junction, which featured livestock and agricultural exhibits and even a trotting race. The village of Paulding itself was incorporated in 1872, and the 450 residents decided to buy 29 acres of land to build a racetrack and a grandstand. Both are still in use today and remain the centerpiece of the town. When a trotter in 1885 set a track record of 2 minutes, 29 seconds, hooked to a high-wheel sulky, that was quite a feat. Paulding is the very first of Ohio's 66 county fairs with harness racing that goes from June through October, and as it has done for 160 years. No matter what ordeals we might face, we are racing, we are Buckeye strong.
All right, you're all out. Let's get them together and line up to parade. I'll start parading postward here for race 6. This is the second division, or the third division, rather, the 2-year-old colt pace. Number 1 is Joey Bag of Donuts, owned and trained by Corinne Fliss of Plymouth, Michigan, the driver Art McElmurray. Number 2 is McMurphy, all with Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickering, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton. The driver is Brandon Bartley. Number 3 is Hot Fever, owned and trained by Bill Webb of Defiance, the driver Mark Hedworth. Number 4 is Red Camo, owned by Larry and Tyler Boroff, Tiffin, Ohio, trained by Larry Boroff, the driver Greg Bateson. Number 5 is Cabello Especial, owned by Pearl and Joe Paver of Marysville, Dennis Paver of Raymond, trained by Joe Paver, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 6 is Racing on Air, owned by Marge Deshesky of North Branch, Michigan, trained by Ken Hess, the driver John Moody. The driver on number 1, Joey Bag of Donuts, is Art McElmurray.
Field of 6 here, 2-year-old colt pacers, $3,003. 4 divisions of the 2-year-old colt paced. Total purse for the 4 divisions, $12,087.
This does look like it's a maiden for most of them, except for the number 2 McMurphy has been timed in 2.5 and won at Delaware. And it was a qualifying mile. The only one that shows a time on it, McMurphy did get down the half in 3-1 and was placed 4th. That little interference up in front. But we've got Bill Webb's Indian Fever and Mark Hedwith driving the Hot Fever. Red Camo, and colorful names. But coming up to almost to the post time. We got one horse up there, turn around, and we'll be coming up there. Roger, do you remember Charlie Barley when he raced?
Charlie who?
Charlie Barley. It looks like,
Not,
I think he's a Michigan.
not sure.
Yeah, he's a Michigan. Yeah, that's where Joey Bag of Donuts. I got to look Charlie Barley up and see what his breeding is.
Oh, I didn't realize you was talking about the stallion,
Yeah.
Charlie Barley.
Charlie Barley. Yeah. I got to look him up later. But we're almost coming up to the gate, and here's Bill Peters.
Horses are lining up down the backside on the way to the gate. Joey Bag of Donuts will move in at the rail. Then comes McMurphy, Hot Fever, Red Camo, with Caballo Especial on the outside in the first tier. 1 trailer racing on air. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. There they come. They're off and pacing. That's Hot Fever going out after the lead, along with Red Camo. And down at the rail third is Joey Bag of Donuts. Moving up 4th at the rail, that is McMurphy. On the outside 5th is Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo, driven by Greg Bateson with the lead. Along the rail second is Hot Fever, driven by Mark Hedworth. Third is Joey Bag of Donuts, driven by Art McElmurray. 4th is racing down the backside. That is Caballo Especial, driven by Pierce Henry. 5th is McMurphy, driven by Brandon Bartley. And the last horse is Racing on Air, driven by John Moody. First quarter pace in 32 3/5 seconds. That's Red Camo with the lead. On the outside second is Hot Fever. At the rail third, Joey Bag of Donuts. 4th, it is Caballo Especial. Racing in there 5th as they race down toward the half. That's McMurphy. And trailing is Racing on Air. Coming toward the half-mile mark, that's Greg Bateson and Red Camo bringing the horses down to the half. Up on the outside second is Hot Fever. At the rail third, Joey Bag of Donuts. Right there 4th, Caballo Especial. First half paced in 105 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Red Camo. The horse pouring on the pressure on the outside is Hot Fever. Hot Fever goes off stride once again. That's Red Camo with lead. Taking over second now is Joey Bag of Donuts. And now out of the 3-hole comes Caballo Especial. He's flying as they race toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Caballo Especial sticking his nose out in front. Coming back second at the rail is Red Camo. And right there third is Joey Bag of Donuts. 3/4 in 137 4/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Caballo, a special by a length and a half. Trying to come back again, second is Red Camo. At the rail, third, Joey Bag of Donuts. As they race toward home, that's Caballo, a special at the rail. Red Camo on the outside. Caballo, a special and Red Camo. Caballo, a special and Red Camo. It's a Caballo, a special. Red Camo up for second. Up for third is Joey Bag of Donuts. Mile in 2:07 2/5. There is a judge's inquiry in this race. There is a judge's inquiry in this race. And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Marysville and Raymond comes number 5, Caballo Especial. Owned by Pearl Joe Paver from Marysville and Dennis Paver from Raymond. Trained by Joe Paver and driven to victory this evening by Pierce Henry. Winning mile in 2:07 2/5 in his first lifetime start.
Final quarter, 29-3.
Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Hot Fever going out after the lead, along with Red Camo. And down at the rail third is Joey Bag of Donuts. Moving up fourth at the rail, that is McMurphy. On the outside fifth is Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo, driven by Greg Bateson with the lead. Along the rail second is Hot Fever, driven by Mark Edworth. Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo. On the outside fifth is Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo, driven by Greg Bateson with the lead. Along the rail second is Hot Fever, driven by Mark Edworth. Third is Joey Bag of Donuts, driven by Art McElmurray. That is McMurphy. On the outside fifth is Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo, driven by Greg Bateson with the lead. Along the rail second is Hot Fever, driven by Mark Edworth. Third is Joey Bag of Donuts, driven by Art McElmurray. At the rail, that is McMurphy. On the outside fifth is Caballo Especial. Off stride now goes Hot Fever momentarily. Taking over on the outside is Red Camo. That's Red Camo, driven by Greg Bateson with the lead. Along the rail second is Hot Fever, driven by Mark Edworth. Third is Joey Bag of Donuts, driven by Art McElmurray. Fourth is racing down the backside.
For next year. And the race had even gone off. But they say what a fantastic time it is.
I know that course.
Yeah.
If you've never been to the Jug, just imagine the Paulding County Fairgrounds. And it's
Here are the official placings for race 6 from the top. Number 1, Joey Bag of Donuts was third. Number 2, McMurphy was fourth. Number 3, Hot Fever was fifth. Number 4, Red Camo was second. Number 5, Caballo Especial was the winner. Number 6, Racing on Air was sixth. Time of the first quarter was 32 3/5. The half was in 105 2/5. The 3 quarters in 137 4/5. With a mile in 207 2/5. For the top, it should read 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 6. A mile in 207 2/5.
As we were saying,
That,
never been to Delaware. Just imagine the Paulding County Fairgrounds and its half-mile track. Just imagine 45,000 people around that racetrack, in the grandstand, the tents, and the lawn chairs down the backside and in the turns. Can you imagine 45,000 people at Paulding? Top.
yeah, it is. It's overwhelming when you look around, and you've never seen so many people at a county. It's actually a county fair track, but it's
County Fair.
county fair, but it's like the premier one. But this is some of these horses will be racing there at Delaware. This is their first starting step for the year, and that Cabello, if he goes, Joe Paver does a good job with his young horses, has a couple every year, but keep an eye on him. There's his last quarter of 29 3. But we're coming up for a word from our sponsor, and the 7th race will be on its way here from Paulding, Ohio, the first fair of the season.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
The heart of a racing program is the charted line. In this instance, we're going to take a look at 2 horses, the 1, Gypsy Merlot, and the 3, Rosemary Rose. Now we're going to look at Gypsy Merlot, racing on the 16th of May in the year 2020. The 13th race at Scioto Downs on a track rated fast and a temperature of 73 degrees. It was a qualifying race to show that the horse is capable of going a good mile and ready for competition. The opening quarter was in 28 4. The half, 59 3. The leader was at the 3 quarters in 127 3. And the finish time for the winner, 155 2. You'll note the Gypsy Merlot had post 5, and in this instance went wire to wire on top of the field for every step, coming a final quarter in 27 4 with an individual winning time of 155 2. Now we want to take a look at a different charted line, that of the 3, Rosemary Rose. At the quarter was 5th, 6 1/4 lengths off the leader. At the half, 5th, 5 3/4 lengths behind the leader. At the 3 quarters, Rosemary Rose was still 5th, but was only 3 lengths off the leader. And note the 0 there. That means moving on the outside. Top of the stretch had moved up to be second, 4 lengths behind the leader. And at the finish wire, Rosemary Rose a winner by a half a length, with a final quarter 26-4, the mile 153-3. The next is the competition, showing Rosemary Rose the winner. Princess Rougarou was second, and St. Lad's Gidget finished third. And with that information, a better understanding of what is in our
Horse will be parading the post here for the 7th race momentarily. 2-year-old filly trots. $3,549. Our post parade. Race 7 coming up. As soon as we get them all headed in the same direction. You know, Tom, you mentioned the Ohio.
That's the printing post word for race 7. This is the 3rd division of the 2-year-old filly trot, going for a purse of $3,549. One is Wishful Mar, by William Marquis of Rockford, Michigan, trained and driven by Bob Rowland. Number 2 is Super Val, owned by Ted Boschma of South Lyon, Michigan, trained by Ken Hass, the driver John Moody. Number 3 is Hot Choco Latte, owned by Salvatore Amato of Newport, Michigan, and Edward Mason of Monroe, Michigan, trained by Salvatore Amato, a driver Ed Conrad. Number 4 is Tulsa Bell, owned, trained and driven by John Payne of Toledo. Number 5 is Uncle Pete's Miss Cash, owned by the Broken Brokers Ltd. of Findlay, trained by Robbie Brooks, the driver Pierce Henry. And number 6 is Always Pestering, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, trained and driven by Ty Bates. All 6 fillies making their first start here at the Paulding County Fair.
Tom, we were talking about the Ohio Fair Racing Conference.
Both number 4, Tulsa Bell, and number 6, Always Pestering, are wearing trotting hobbles. Trotting hobbles in both 4 and 6.
Well, we'll try it again. It comprises 21 county fairs in the Buckeye State. It is one of 4 organizations with stake racing. Should mention, the newest member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, the Delaware County Fair in Delaware, Ohio. So many of these horses will be racing at Delaware this year in the Ohio Fair Racing Conference events in September.
September Classic. So again, if you love harness racing, come to Delaware. If you love fair racing, come to Ohio. We have 66 of our counties have fair racing. And they're staged so you can visit a fair, a couple of fairs every week. In fact, I've had several people taking the summer off just to go from fair to fair to fair. And now they know what I feel, because I did 51 fairs last year. But the horses are about ready to come to the gate, and here's Bill Peters.
And the horses are lining up down the backside on the way to the gate. Wishful Mar is going to move in at the rail. Then comes Super Val, Hot Choco Latte, Tulsa Bell with Uncle Pete's Miss Cash on the outside in the first tier. One trailer, Always Pestering. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
For the start of the race, don't forget we'll have harness racing Saturday and Sunday this week.
6 first-time starters
in Circleville, Ohio. Ohio Colt Racing Association stake races Saturday and Sunday from Circleville, Ohio, right here on the OHHA Facebook page.
Here they come. Off and trotting, that's Wishful Mar going out after the leader with Tulsa Bell. Moving up on the outside third is Uncle Pete's Miss Cash. In there fourth, that's Super Val. Fifth and now going off stride is Hot Choco Latte. Taking over fifth is Always Pestering. As they head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark, John Payne now moves Tulsa Bell up on the outside to gain command. Dropping back second is Wishful Mar, driven by Bob Rowland. Running in there third is Uncle Pete's Miss Case, driven by Pierce Henry. Fourth, it is Super Val, driven by John Moody. Farther back fifth is Always Pestering, driven by Ty Bates. And the last horse is Hot Choco Latte, driven by Ed Conrad. First quarter was trotted in a leisurely 34 2/5 seconds. Racing around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Tulsa Bell by 2.5 lengths over Wishful Mar. Still trotting third is Uncle Pete's Miss Cash. Fourth is Super Val. And comes Always Pestering, and the last horse, Hot Choco Latte. No change as they come to the half-mile mark. That's John Payne and Tulsa Bell bringing the horses down to the half. A length and a half back second is Wishful Mar. First half trotted in 107 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Tulsa Bell. The closest horse second is Wishful Mar. Racing in there third is Uncle Pete's Miss Cash. And farther back fourth is Super Val. Fifth is Always Pestering, and the last horse, Hot Chocolate. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. Bob Rowland's out and on the move now with Wishful Mar. She sticks her nose out in front as they race past the 3/4 mile mark. Dropping back second along the rail is Tulsa Bell. 3/4 in 146 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Tulsa Bell along the rail. Wishful Mar on the outside. They're racing head for head, nose for nose. They turn for home. Tulsa Bell at the rail. Wishful Mar on the outside. Racing third, Uncle Pete's Miss Case. As they race through the lane, Tulsa Bell and Wishful Mar. Tulsa Bell at the rail. Wishful Mar on the outside. Tulsa Bell and Wishful Mar right together at the finish. Right together at the finish. Tulsa Bell and Wishful Mar. 1 mile in 2:09 2/5. Correction on that 3/4 time, it was 1:40 2/5. 1:40 2/5 at the 3/4.
Glad for that correction, because I didn't think they trotted home in 23 seconds.
But the Bob Rowland, he has Time Storm, and this is a nice looking little filly. Going down the backside, she looked like a good little trotter. But we haven't the results yet, but they're coming soon.
From your vantage point, was it the one Wishful Mar? Tulsa Bell to the wire. Photo for win.
Here is your winner of race 7, number 1, Wishful Mar, owned by William Marquis and trained to deliver victory by Bob Rowland.
Final half 102. Final quarter 29 seconds. Trotting a storm. Coming home. Wishful Mar, 2-year-old filly by Wishing Stone.
There, the official is 4th. Number 3, Hot Choco Latte was 6th. Number 4, Tulsa Bell was 2nd. Number 5, Uncle Pete's Miss Cash was 3rd. And number 6, Always Pestering was 5th. Time of the first quarter was 34 2/5. The half was in 107 2/5. The 3/4 in 140 2/5. With 1 mile in 2:09 2/5. From the top, it should read 146 235. The mile in 2:09 2/5. The last half in 102. Last quarter in 29 seconds.
Wishful Mar getting the best of Tulsa Bell. Both fillies.
In the upcoming race 8, number 3, Dom's Ornery Apple. The driver will be Cody Greeno. Cody Greeno will drive number 3, Dom's Ornery Apple. And number 4, Imagine It. The driver will be Hank Levan. Hank Levan on number 4, Imagine It.
You're right, Roger. A nice filly. Bob Brown was in the winter circle, Smiles, and is a good helper, Annie Russell. She was all smiles. Somebody hollered at him and got another good one, Bob. That brought even more smiles, but yes, just trotted easy and went head to head around the last turn and held off. Tulsa Bell was no slouch. Last quarter in 29 seconds flat for 2-year-old trotting fillies. We're seeing some good ones today, Roger.
You know, usually when you have these 2-year-old filly and 2-year-old colt trotters, there's a standout in each race, but in that one, both of them, Wishful Mar and Tulsa Bell, looked pretty dang good.
Yes. Neck and neck, nose to nose, to the wire. In 2-9 and 2, we have a 2-year-old kilt pace coming up in the 8th race. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002. At Sentara Co-op, we share your passion for your horses. We have the feed and supplies you need to care for your equine athletes. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition continue their partnership to help Ohio horsemen and horsewomen with innovative feeding solutions. Expert horse nutrition and care is available from our equine specialists. Call 419-281-2153 for more information. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition, a winning combination for your horses.
It's time for text trivia. Now, what size racetrack is Paulding, as are most county fairs? Is it A, a half mile, twice around, B, 5/8 mile, which is 1.5 times around, or C, 1 mile, once around? The first and the 9th correct text wins. Text your answer A, B, or C to 614-633-5554. Good luck. We have a winner. The correct answer is A, a half mile. It's a twice around, as are most of the county fairs in the U.S. and Canada. They are half-mile tracks. And a 5/8 mile track is 1.5 times around, while the mile track, you just go from point A to point B, it's 1 mile and once around. thanks for playing. And we hope to see you or hear from you at Marion County.
Four out, that leaves two to come.
2-year-old Colt Pacers, $3,003. The 3, Dom Senior Apple, Cody Guarino, the driver. Cody Guarino on the 3. The 4, Imagine It, make the driver Hank Levan. Hank Levan drives the 4, Imagine It. All making their first start. No qualifying lines. Qualifying lines are needed to race at the parimutuel tracks, but at the county fairs, qualifiers are not needed.
All right, bring them along slowly. You'll be all right. Bring them along slowly. Our starting postword for race 8. This is the 4th division of the 2-year-old Colt Pace, going for a purse of $3,003. One is County Line Rebel, owned by Gus Davis of Payne, trained by Chad Williamson, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 2 is Not Playing Nice, owned by Ron Merritt of Jackson, Michigan, trained and driven by Kim Pluta. Number 3 is Dom's Ornery Apple, owned and trained by Joe Paver of Marysville, the driver, Cody Greeno. Number 4 is Imagine It, owned by Rick Kopp of Hillsdale, Michigan, trained by Kent Wilcox, the driver, Hank Levan. Number 5 is Rogers Rock, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver, Brandon Bartley. Number 6 is Well Hill, owned by Suzanne Bates of Gibsonburg, trained and driven by Ty Bates. I have 6 colts here, none of which have ever started. First time starters for all 6 Pacers.
As we were saying, 2-year-olds and horses racing at the fairs in Ohio are not required to have a qualifying line. That's why you see these horses without qualifiers. However, in some states, in order to race at the county fairs and stake races, they have to qualify in a certain time to be eligible to race at the county fairs, but that is not the case here in Ohio. Six 2-year-old Colt Pacers about to go postward here.
That, Mr. Houston, is the intrigue of county fair racing in Ohio. You never know. One steps up and says, hello, world. But we have 6 going to post. And
if
they're...
you just joined us earlier today in the 2-year-old Colt Pace, Truly Noble, Greg Bateson, 202 4/5. Gray Fannin, Josh Slater in 201. And Caballo Especial, Pierce Henry, 207 2. And this, the 8th race, the 4th and final division of the 2-year-old Colt Pace.
And the 2-year-olds are lining up behind the gate. They're by the paddock turn. And we are ready to roll. Here's our announcer, Bill Peters.
Horses out lining up down the backside on the way to the gate. County Line Rebel will move in at the rail. And comes Not Playing Nice. Dom's Ornery Apple. Imagine It with Rogers Rock on the outside in the first tier. One trailer, Well Hill. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
This is our final 2-year-old event of the day. 3-year-old and a free-for-all pace remain on our 13 race card. One through 5 on the gate, 6 the trailer in the second tier.
Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Not Playing Nice going out after here to lead along with Imagine It. At the rail third is County Line Rebel. Up on the outside fourth is Rogers Rock. Moving along at the rail fifth is Well Hill. And the last horse at this point, it is Dom's Ordinary Apple. Going down the backside over toward that quarter-mile mark, Kim Pluta has Not Playing Nice on top by one length. Dropping in there second is Imagine It, driven by Hank Levan. Racing third down the backside, that's County Line Rebel, driven by Pierce Henry. First quarter pace in 31 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Not Playing Nice with the lead. Racing second is Imagine It, now pacing in there third, that's Rogers Rock. Racing fourth is Well Hill. Fifth is County Line Rebel. And the last horse is Dom's Ornery Apple. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that's Kim Pluta and Not Playing Nice, bringing the horses down to the half. In the golden chair second, that's Imagine It. Right there third is Rogers Rock. Moving along fourth is Well Hill. First half paced in 103 2/5. All 6 colts pretty well bunched around the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Not Playing Nice. Racing second is Imagine It. On the outside third is Well Hill. At the rail fourth, Rogers Rock. On the move on the outside fifth is Imagine It. And the last horse is County Line Rebel. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Not Playing Nice by a length and a half. But Imagine It is not giving up in that 2-hole. 3/4 in 135 1/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Not Playing Nice, but here comes Imagine It up on the race on the outside. Not Playing Nice at the rail. Imagine It on the outside. They're only heads apart as they turn for home. Not Playing Nice and Imagine It. Imagine It on the outside. Not Playing Nice at the rail. It's going to be Imagine It. And here the outcome. Not Playing Nice up for second. Well Hill up for third. A mile in 2:04.
Final half, 1 minute and 3/5. Final quarter, 28 4. Imagine It. 2-year-old gelding by If I Can Dream out of Caddy's Sure Shot by Gun That Won the West. Richard Kopp of Hillsdale, Michigan, the owner. Kent Wilcox trains. Hank Levan in the sulky. Mile in 2:04. Over the 2, Not Playing Nice. And the 6, Well Hill. 4-2-6. Order of finish in the 8th. All 6 2-year-olds making their first lifetime start. County Line Rebel making a break at the start. Pierce Henry definitely had his hands full with the breaking 2-year-old going into that first turn.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where do the winners go? Coming in from Hillsdale, Michigan, comes number 4, Imagine It, on by Rick Kopp, trained by Kent Wilcox, and driven to victory this evening by Hank Levan. Here are the official placings for race 8 from the top. Number 1, County Line Rebel was 6th. Number 2, Not Playing Nice was 2nd. Number 3, Dom's Ornery Apple was 4th. Number 4, Imagine It was the winner. Number 5, Rogers Rock was 5th. And number 6, Well Hill was 3rd. Time in the first quarter was 31 3/5. Half was in 103 2/5. 3/4 in 135 1/5. With a mile in 2:04. From the top it should read 6:24.153, a mile in 2:04. The last quarter in 28 4/5 seconds. In the upcoming race 9, number 3, Yankee Sis. The driver will be Cody Greeno. Cody Greeno will drive number 3, Yankee Sis, in race 9.
Another good mile. Mile and 2, second to last quarter in. 28 4. Oh, God almighty. So again, we're showing, popping out of the woodwork. Now, we have our Trex Trivia winners I wanted to mention before we get and further. We got from, they get a little widespread area. We have Tyler Burris from Rudolph, Ohio. Dakota Jackson from Mentor on the Lake. Tim Holspan from Defiance in Ohio, but all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona, Dana Limbach. So congratulations, folks. You've got a surprise package from the Ohio Horsemen's Association, and we'll be sending those out shortly. So now, the next race is the ninth race, a 3-year-old filly trot. And we got some charted lines. Yay, we got some charted lines. But a word now from our sponsor.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
When Paulding County was mapped out in 1820, it was named for John Paulding, who, as a 22-year-old sergeant in the militia during the American Revolution, was on patrol with fellow New Yorkers David Williams and Isaac Van Wert. They stopped the suspicious acting gentleman as he was traveling south through the village of Sleepy Hollow. Although he offered a false name, he was actually John Andre, who was a major and the head of the British Secret Service, and out of uniform that morning on September 1780. The 30-year-old Andre carried American trader General Benedict Arnold's hidden plans to surrender his command of West Point to the British in exchange for a promised payment of £20,000. It was Paulding's 10-second pause that made him decide to search the nervous Andre and found the incriminating papers, thus thwarting the nefarious plans. The three were hailed as heroes throughout the young United States and were awarded farms, a yearly pension, as each had a county named for them in the new state of Ohio. Paulding, Williams, and Van Wert, located here in the northwest corner. In fact, most of our 88 counties in Ohio are named in honor of our American patriots, such as Virginia Governor Patrick Henry, General Israel Putnam of Connecticut, Governor John Hancock of Massachusetts, General and Dr. Hugh Mercer of Philadelphia. That's pretty lofty company for three young farmers from rural New York. It is an immense community pride that we share in the majestic city halls as well as our county fairs, 66 of which have harness racing. We are the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and we are proud to be number one in the country in county fairs, number one with standardbreds foaled, number one in licensed trainers and drivers and owners. It is something that we take pride in and will continue to do so as we support our hometown places and our people. We are racing. We are Buckeye strong.
Our next broadcast coming up Saturday and Sunday from the Pickaway County Fair in Circleville, Ohio. Hey, Tom, did I hear you correct? One of those trivia winners all the way in Scottsdale, Arizona?
Need one more horse here for race 9.
Yes, Tom's not with us right now, but if that's the case, winner from Scottsdale, Arizona, that'd be a furthest distance for one of our viewers yesterday and today. 9th race coming up, 3-year-old filly trotters, field of 4 to go postward. You Look Wonderful, the 4-horse with Rosie Weaver, 59-1, final quarter 29 at Northfield on June the 3rd. Ed Greeno Jr., Yankee Sis, timed in 59 at Scioto on June the 9th.
Okay, the last horse is on its way. Let's get them together to line up for parade.
So 2 of the 4 horses with 2-minute performances the last time out. Cell Service, John Kineski III, 2 minutes in the 5th at Northfield on June the 10th. Team L and Hank Levan made a break at Scioto Downs on June the 12th, individually timed 2, 1, and 2. Horses parading the post for race 9.
Horses are parading postward for race 9. This is the first division of the 3-year-old filly trot, going for a purse of $4,651. Number 1 is Cell Service, owned by John Kineski III of Pemberville and Patrick Kineski of Bowling Green, trained and driven by John Kineski III. Number 2 is Team L, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, Ohio, and Rosemary Levan of Lewistown, Ohio, trained and driven by Hank Levan. Number 3 is Yankee Sis, owned by E.G. Trot LLC of Findlay, trained by Ed Greeno Jr., the driver Cody Greeno. And number 4 is You Look Wonderful, owned, trained, and driven by Rosie Weaver of Beach City, Ohio. Have a field of 4 3-year-old filly trotters here. 3 of the 4 have found the winner's circle. The number 1 horse, Cell Service, had 3 wins last year, the best time being at Montpelier in 2:07 and 4/5. The number 2 horse, Team L, had a record last year as a 2-year-old of 2 minutes flat at Dayton Hollywood, but has won this year in 1:57 and 3/5 at Cider Downs. Number 3 horse, Yankee Sis, had won 5 races last year. The fastest was in a qualifier at Northfield Park in 2:04 and 3/5. The number 4 horse has only had 1 lifetime start, finishing 3rd at Northfield on June 3rd. But trotted that mile in 1:59 and 1/5. So we have 4 trotters in here with some pretty good times. We could have a pretty fast race.
Note the driver change here in the 9th race. The 3 Yankee Sis, the driver Cody Greeno. Cody Greeno driving the 3 Yankee Sis in the upcoming 9th race. Had 2 divisions for the 3-year-old filly trot. This going for $4,651.
And Hank Levan's Team L, although she made a bobble last week, still sports a lifetime record, 16 starts with 5 wins, 3 seconds, and 3/4. And she's trotted at Scioto this year, 57 and 3. Excellent horse. We are not starting to line up the post, and I like a lot of quality trotters in here, Roger. They look like they're ready to roll. But the Team L definitely looks like an overlay in here.
We mentioned 2 divisions of this race. The 2nd division coming up in race 12.
Horses are lining up down the backside on the win. Gate. Cell Service will move in at the rail. In comes Team L.
And
Yankee Sis.
they are
with
behind
You
the
Look
gate
Wonderful on the
and
outside.
ready to roll.
Field of 4. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Team L going out after the early along with Yankee Sis. Dropping in their 3rd is Cell Service, and the last horse is You Look Wonderful. Making the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Team L goes off stride. Now taking over is Yankee Sis. Moving up 2nd is Cell Service. Moving up 3rd is You Look Wonderful, and back to 4th is Team L. Going toward that quarter-mile mark, Cody Greeno has Yankee Sis on top by 4 lengths. Trotting 2nd is Cell Service, driven by John Canessi III. Racing in their 3rd is You Look Wonderful, driven by Rosie Weaver. The last horse, Team L, driven by Hank Levan. First quarter trotted in 30 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Yankee Sis by 2.5 lengths now over Cell Service. You Look Wonderful right there 3rd. Back trotting 4th is Team L. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that's Cody Greeno and Yankee Sis bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting in the golden chair 2nd is Cell Service. Right there 3rd is You Look Wonderful. And the last horse, Team L. First half trotted in 1 minute and 1/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside and race over that 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Yankee Sis. Right there 2nd is Cell Service, and right there 3rd is You Look Wonderful. Team L trots 4th. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Yankee Sis by 2 lengths over Cell Service. You Look Wonderful still trots 3rd, followed by Team L 4th. Past the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Yankee Sis by a length and a half. 3/4 in 1:31. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Yankee Sis by 2.5 lengths now over Cell Service. And now Cell Service tips to the outside. That's Yankee Sis and Cell Service. Still third as You Look Wonderful. Closing in fourth is Team L. As they race toward home, that's Yankee Sis and Cell Service. Yankee Sis at the rail, Cell Service on the outside. Yankee Sis and Cell Service. It's going to be Yankee Sis, and here's the outcome. Cell Service up for second, Team L for third. A mile in 2:01 and 4/5.
Yankee Sis, Cody Greeno, Ed Greeno Jr., the trainer. E.G. Trott of Findlay, Ohio, the owner. 3-year-old filly by Wishing Stone at a Yankee Starling. 2:01 and 4. Over Cell Service, Team L, and You Look Wonderful. First division, 3-year-old filly Trot, Ohio Fair Conference event. Went to the front and never looked back.
Time mark at Paulding, Ohio.
Previous best time, a qualifying win in 2-4 3/5 last year at Northfield. Won 5 of 16 as a 2-year-old. And the second start of the 3-year-old campaign, a winner. 2:01 4/5.
Again, Ed Greeno Jr. had a very contented and pleased look as he crossed the wire with this filly. He's returning now to the winner's circle.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Findlay, Ohio, comes number 3, Yankee Sis. Owned by E.G. Trott LLC, trained by Ed Greeno Jr., and driven to victory this evening by Cody Greeno. Trotting that mile in 2:01 and 4/5, new lifetime mark for Yankee Sis, and that was only 4/5 of a second off the overall trotting track record here at the Paulding County Fair. Here are the official placings for race 9 for the top. Number 1, Cell Service was second. Number 2, Team L was third. Number 3, Yankee Sis was the winner. And number 4, You Look Wonderful was fourth. Time of the first quarter was 30 seconds. The half was in 1 minute and 1/5. The 3/4 in 1:31 with a mile in 2:01 and 4/5. From the top it should read 2, 3, 1, 4 on the bottom. A mile in 2:01 and 4/5. In the upcoming race 10, number 1, Grand Rosa, the driver will be Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry will drive number 1, Grand Rosa. Number 4, $1 Million Dad, the driver will be Dakota Jackson. Dakota Jackson will be driving $1 Million Dad. Number 7, Dandy Dune, the driver will be Cody Greeno. And number 8, Derecho, the driver will be Kim Pluto.
So a lot of driver changes coming up. Pierce Henry on the 1, Grand Rosa. Dakota Jackson on the 4, $1 Million Dad. Cody Greeno on Dandy Dune, the 7, and Kim Pluto on Direct Show.
Full field of 8 for the free-for-all pace feature race at Paulding County. And as Roger has said, the 6, 7, and 8 start from the second tier. You got to keep an eye on behind you, see what's coming behind you. All right, now we're going to go right now to our sponsor, a word from our sponsor.
At Sentara Co-op, we share your passion for your horses. We have the feed and supplies you need to care for your equine athletes. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition continue their partnership to help Ohio horsemen and horsewomen with innovative feeding solutions. Expert horse nutrition and care is available from our equine specialists. Call 419-281-2153 for more information. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition, a winning combination for your horses.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Our feature today is information that will help you better understand our racing program. In this instance, it is race number 6 at Scioto Downs on Friday, May the 22nd. Now this race is a filly and mare open event. Post position 1 was assigned to Gypsy Merlot. The other spots were luck of the draw. Driver Chris Page had a choice to make as he was named on 2 horses. He chooses the 3 over the 5. The purse is $18,000. A breakdown on that purse, 50% goes to the winner, $9,000. The second place finisher gets 25%, or $4,500. Third place is 12%, which equals $2,160. The fourth place finisher, 8%, or $1,440. And the fifth place finisher, 5%, a check for $900. Now the wagering options in this race, they have exacta and trifecta wagering. In the exacta, you must pick the correct order of finish of the first 2 horses. Pick them 1, 2 to have a winning exacta ticket. In the trifecta, you pick them in the correct order of first, second, and third. Yes, pick them 1, 2, 3 to have a winning trifecta ticket. With that information, we hope it makes it a bit easier for you to understand our racing program.
Seven out, that leaves 1 to come. Give them a turn, take them down the backside and get them lined up and try to get them spaced about 100 feet apart if you can. At least 50 to 100 feet apart in the post parade here for race 10. Give them a turn and take them down on the backside. Okay, Mr. Henry, you can turn your horse and head this way, and then Mr. Hedworth, and then Mr. Levan, then Mr. Jackson, then Mr. McElmurray, then Mr. Conrad, then Mr. Greeno, and then Mr. Pluto. Horses are parading postward for race 10. This is the feature race here at the Paulding County Fair. The Paulding County Free-for-All Pace, going for a purse of $2,900. Number 1 is Grand Rosa. She's a bay mare, 6 years old, by the Ponderosa out of Grandkids Bay by Lando. She's owned by Nancy Carnatz of Canton, Michigan, trained by Indelicio Arriaga, the driver Pierce Henry. Lifetime earnings over $99,000. A lifetime mark, 153 4/5. Number 2 is Western Fella. He's a bay gelding, 9 years old, by Artistic Fella out of Western Kisser by Western Hanover. Owned and trained by Bill Webb of Defiance, driven by Mark Hedworth. Lifetime earnings over $198,000. A lifetime mark, 152 4/5. Number 3 is Hanky L. He's a bay gelding, 10 years old, by Stand Forever out of Sheer Sabra by Park Place, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, trained and driven by Hank Levan. Lifetime earnings over $306,000, a lifetime mark 151 4/5. Number 4 is $1 Million Dad. He's a bay gelding, 12 years old, by $1 Million Cam out of Pinchot by Real Artist, owned by Steve Ashby of Menor on the Lake, Ohio, trained and driven by Dakota Jackson. Lifetime earnings over $156,000. A lifetime mark, 154 2/5. Number 5 is Starry Night Teen. He's a bay gelding, 6 years old, by Artificial out of Rosatina by the Ponderosa, owned by Gabriel O'Hearn of Burton, Michigan, trained by Al Tomlinson, driven this evening by Art McElmurray. Lifetime earnings over $113,000. A lifetime mark, 153. Number 6 is Southwind Whiskey. He's a bay gelding, 12 years old, by Better's Delight out of Winona, Hanover by Real Artist. Owned, trained and driven by Ed Conrad of Toledo. Lifetime earnings over $247,000. A lifetime mark, 152 4/5. Number 7 is Dan D. Dune. He's a brown gelding, 7 years old, by Duneside Perch out of Witch Hanover by No Dukes. Owned and trained by Brad Schaefer of Bluffton, driven this evening by Cody Greeno. Lifetime earnings over $271,000. A lifetime mark, 152. Number 8 is Derecho. He's a brown gelding, 7 years old, by Big Jim out of Stonebridge Breeze by Cam Luck. Owned and trained by Sam Eicher of Coldwater, Michigan, driven this evening by Kim Pluta. Lifetime earnings over $248,000. A lifetime mark, 150 3/5. Those are your horses for the 2020 Paulding County Pace. Might mention the number 3 horse, Hanky L, was last year's winner.
Field of 8. 1 through 5 on the gate. 6, 7, and 8 trailers in the second tier. Here's Henry on the 1. Dakota Jackson drives the 4. Cody Greeno on the 7. Kim Pluta on the 8. Free-for-all Pacers. Purse of $2,900 up for grabs.
This is a veteran field, Roger. It's good group of horses. Old Hanky L. He's got 279 starts, lifetime starts, and over 306,000 earned. He paced a mile in 55 2 last week at Scioto. And quick addition, I added up all the horses' lifetime starts in this race, over 1,600. And that's quite a bit of starts. And veteran horses and veteran drivers. And they are...
How about this stat? Lifetime earnings in excess of $1.6 million.
Oh, brother, can you spare me a dime? Yeah, the horses are moving up behind the gate, and we are live with Bill Peters.
The horses are running up down the backside on the way to the gate for the 2020 Paulding County Pace. Grand Rosa will move in at the rail. Then comes Western Fella, Hanky L, $1 Million Dad with Starry Night Teen on the outside in the first tier. 3 trailers, Southwind Whiskey, Dandy Dune, and Derecho. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling.
2 6-year-olds, 2 12-year-olds. The rest in between. 6-year-olds. Grand Rosa. And Starry 19.
Here they come. There, off and pacing, it's Western Fella going out after here to lead along with Hanky Al and $1 Million Dad. Down at the rail fourth is Grand Rosa. Up on the outside fifth is Derecho. At the rail sixth is Southwind Whiskey. Racing in there seventh is Dandy Dune. And the last horse is Starry 19. Heading down the backside over toward that quarter mile mark, Kim Pluta flies up on the outside with Derecho. Derecho takes over. Dropping back second is Western Fella, doubled by Mark Hedworth. Right there third is $1 Million Dad, doubled by Dakota Jackson. And fourth is Hanky Al, doubled by Hank Levan. First quarter paced in 29 1/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Derecho by a length and a half over Western Fella. $1 Million Dad is in there third, followed by Hanky Al fourth. Fifth is Grand Rosa. Sixth it is Southwind Whiskey. Moving up on the outside, seventh is Dandy Dune, and the last horse, Starry 19. Coming down to the half-mile mark, that's Kim Pluta and Derecho bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting in the golden chair second is Western Fella with $1 Million Dad right there third. First half paced in 58 4/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Derecho. Western Fella second and ready to move. $1 Million Dad edges up a little closer third. Fourth along the rail is Grand Rosa. On the outside fifth is Hanky Al. Dandy Dune now moves into contention sixth. Seventh is Southwind Whiskey and trailing Starry 19. Going through that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Derecho with the lead. Moving up on the outside second now comes Hanky Al. Racing along the rail third. As they race around that turn is Western Fella. 3/4 in 128 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Derecho with the lead, but Hanky Al is in hot pursuit. Derecho and Hanky Al as they turn for home. Derecho along the rail, Hanky Al coming up on the outside. Derecho and Hanky Al, it's got to be Derecho, and here they all come. Hanky Al up for second, Western Fella for third. Mile in 158 1/5.
Final half, 59 2. Final quarter, 29 2. Derecho hung to the quarter. Never looked back from there on. Hanky Al, last year's winner, closed to be second.
I'd like to thank the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association for contributing $2,000 to the purse for this race. This is a part of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association's feature race grant that they have, where the fair has to match at least 1/4 of the purse of the grant. And this year the grant was for $2,000. The fair had to put in $500, and the horsemen's entry fees amounted to the last $400. But we certainly would like to thank the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association for those feature race grants for these fairs.
Derecho, a 7-year-old gallant, but Big Jim out of Stonebridge Breeze by Cam Luck. Samuel Eicher, Coldwater, Michigan, owns and trains. Lifetime earnings now in excess of $250,000.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Coldwater, Michigan comes number 8, Derecho. Owned and trained by Sam Eicher and driven to victory here in the Paulding County Pace by Kim Pluta. Here are the official placings for race 10 from the top. Number 1, Grand Rosa was 5th. Number 2, Western Fellow was 3rd. Number 3, Hanky Al was 2nd. Number 4, $1 Million Dad was 6th. Number 5, Starry 19 was 8th. Number 6, Southwind Whiskey was 7th. Number 7, Dandy Dune was 4th. And number 8, Derecho was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 29 1/5. The half was in 58 4/5. The 3/4 in 128 4/5. With a mile in 158 1/5. For the top, it should read 5, 3, 2, 6, 8, 7, 4, 1 on the bottom. The mile in 158 1/5.
Derecho Kim Pluta winning the free-for-all pace. Paulding County pacing event. Hank L second, and Western Fella was third.
They come
Against
that
the Barnes, Dakota Jackson, would you please report to the starting gate at your earliest convenience? Dakota Jackson, please report to the starting gate at your earliest convenience.
What do you say? Yeah, that come the last half in 59 and 2. Now the Derico, he just coming off a little bobble last week, but he qualified in 55 and 2 at Northfield. Now, it's a good mile. He's a good mile. Just added to his lifetime. Again, a class field. And I always loved old class horses. They battled it out all their lives. And they're great animals to work around. They are smart, gentle. You have them for a few years. You just voice command, say, move, come up, over there, and they follow your command. And when they go out and make you $250,000, that's just money in the bank. It's just a cream to the crop, the frosting on the pudding, all that stuff. But we'll be coming up with our 11th race, which is the 3-year-old filly pace. It's our last division. There's 5 of them in there, and it looks like a good field. We'll go, I'm going to go, I think we're going to look at Tiny Bit of Sky, Emma Wahlberg in the sulky. And,
First division of the 3-year-old filly pace was the first race on today's card.
Against the Barnes, and now ready for the horses for race
Hank
11.
Levan in 158 and 4/5.
Might mention
Second
that
division here in the 11th, third division in race 13.
Ohio Fair Racing Conference will continue at the Marion County Fair. We'll be racing at the Marion County Fair at Marion on Monday, June 29th and Tuesday, June 30th. Post time 11 a.m. each day. That's the Marion County Fair at Marion on June 29th and June 30th with post time of 11 a.m. each day.
now a word from our sponsor.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
Okay, the last horse is just coming out. So parade them on down. Horses are parading postward for race 11. That's the second division of the 3-year-old filly pace, going for a purse of $3,378. Number 1 is Pure Ray, owned by Greg Bateson of Toledo and Hader Stables LLC of Temperance, Michigan, trained and driven by Greg Bateson. Number 2 is Big G's Annie, owned by Gus Davis of Payne, trained by Chad Williamson, the driver of Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Big Bad Panda, owned by Joseph Barron of Schererville, Indiana, trained and driven by Joe Cramp. Number 4 is Beautiful Gorgeous, owned, trained and driven by Derek Flowers of Jackson, Mississippi. And number 5 is Tiny Bit of Sky, owned by Tommy and Andrea Householder of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Russell Irvin III, the driver Emma Wahlberg. We have a field of 5. 4 of the 5 have found the winner's circle in their lifetime. The number 2 horse, Big G's Henny, had a record last year of 2:03 and 2/5 at Oak Harbor, now making her first start of the year. Number 3, Big Bad Panda, had 4 wins last year, the fastest being 2:01 and 3/5 at Wellington. The number 4 horse, Beautiful Gorgeous, had 3 wins last year, the fastest being at Northfield Park and 1:56 and 3/5. And the number 5 horse, Tiny Bit of Sky, had 8 wins last year, the fastest 1:55 and 4/5 at Northfield. Tiny Bit of Sky was the champion last year, champion 2-year-old filly pacer in the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. Coming back here to try to defend that title.
Once again, want to remind you, Ohio Colt Racing Association stake events Saturday and Sunday right here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association Facebook page from Circleville, Ohio. Tom Pye, are you going to be in Circleville come Saturday and Sunday? I think he will be. Four circuits in the state of Ohio. Southern Valley. Ohio Fair Racing
down the backside on the way to the
Home Balance.
moving at the rail. In comes Big G's Annie, Big Bad Panda, Beautiful Gorgeous with Tiny Bit of Sky on the outside.
And the fourth circuit is the Ohio Colt Racing Association.
There it goes. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Big G's Annie going out after early along with Tiny Bit of Sky. Now Tiny Bit of Sky takes over. In their second is Big G's Annie. Up on the outside third is Big Bad Panda. Big Bad Panda goes off stride though. Making the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Emma Wahlberg has Tiny Bit of Sky on top by a length and a half. Facing second is Big G's Henny, driven by Pierce Henry. On the outside third is Beautiful Gorgeous, driven by Derek Flowers. Racing in there fourth, that is Big Bad Panda, driven by Joe Cramp. The last horse, Puree, driven by Greg Bateson. First quarter paced in 31 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Tiny Bit of Sky by a length and a half over Big G's Henny. Racing third is Beautiful Gorgeous. Fourth is Big Bad Panda, and farther back fifth is Puree. Front four pretty well bunched as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Emma Wahlberg and Tiny Bit of Sky bringing the horses down to the half. In the golden chair second is Big G's Henny. Beautiful Gorgeous races in there third. And fourth is Big Bad Panda. First half paced in 1:02 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Tiny Bit of Sky. The closest horse second is Big G's Annie. Ranging up on the outside third now comes Beautiful Gorgeous. Big Bad Panda races fourth, and then comes Puree. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Tiny Bit of Sky with the lead, but gaining with every stride on the outside is Beautiful Gorgeous. At the rail third is Big G's Annie. Fourth is Big Bad Panda, then comes Puree. Past the 3/4 mile mark, Tiny Bit of Sky answers the call and paces right on. 3/4 in 1:32 and 3/5. That's Tiny Bit of Sky by a length and a half over Beautiful Gorgeous. Third is Big G's Annie, and fourth Big Bad Panda. As they turn toward home, Tiny Bit of Sky opens up another gear and paces away from the field. That's Tiny Bit of Sky and Beautiful Gorgeous as they race through the lane. It's going to be Tiny Bit of Sky, and here they all come. Beautiful Gorgeous up for second, Big G's Annie for third. mile in 2:01.
58-4, final half. 28-2, final quarter. Tiny Bit of Sky. 3-year-old Philip, a Major Stone, and a Skyway Hanover of a Western Ideal. Russell Early the third trains. Emma Wahlberg in the sulky for owners Tommy and Andrea Householder of Delaware, Ohio. Beautiful, gorgeous second. Big G's Annie was third.
And Derek Flowers, he's had a good Paulding meet up here. He's very successful. And all the way from Jackson, Mississippi. Good mile, 2-1. And here's Emmett coming back now.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Delaware, Ohio, comes number 5, Tiny Bit of Sky. Owned by Tommy and Andrea Householder, trained by Russell Early III, and driven to victory by Emma Wahlberg. Emma is a native of Sweden. She picked up her first win in the United States with Tiny Bit of Sky at the Henry County Fair at Napoleon last year. Here are the official placings for race 11 from the top. Number 1, Puree was 5th. Number 2, Big G's Annie was 3rd. Number 3, Big Bad Panda was 4th. Number 4, Beautiful Gorgeous was 2nd. And number 5, Tiny Bit of Sky was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 31 seconds. The half was in 1:02 1/5. The 3 quarters in 1:32 3/5, with a mile in 2:01. From the top it should read 5, 3, 4, 2, 1 on the bottom. A mile at 2:01. That last quarter at 28 2/5 seconds.
Races
In the
12 and
upcoming race
13
12,
coming
number
up.
5, Bruins Babe. The driver will be Bo Brown. Bo Brown will drive number 5, Bruins Babe, in race 12.
Twelfth race, a 3-year-old filly Trot. Field of 5. $4,726 up for grabs. Other division was won by Yankee Sis and Cody Greena. 2:01, 4/5. Second division coming up in race 12. Our penultimate this afternoon for the Paulding County Fair.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
Attention the barns, we're now ready for the horses for race 12.
At Sentara Co-op, we share your passion for your horses. We have the feed and supplies you need to care for your equine athletes. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition continue their partnership to help Ohio horsemen and horsewomen with innovative feeding solutions. Expert horse nutrition and care is available from our equine specialists. Call 419-281-2153 for more information. Sentara Co-op and Purina Animal Nutrition, a winning combination for your horses. Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancin' Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
The racing program also contains information on the horse, its connections, and its past performance. The one is Gypsy Merlot. The trainer, Alan Tomlinson. The driver, Sam Widger. His colors, maroon and blue. For the year, 1,440 starts. His win percentage, 19%. Place percentage, 15%. And a show percentage of 13%. In harness racing, we have what is known as the Universal Driver Rating System. It's much like a baseball batting average. Sam Widger's percentage for the year, 317. The breeder is Alan Tomlinson. Gypsy Merlot is a bay mare, 4 years of age. The father is Phelan Frisky. The mother, Bronwyn Sealster, whose daddy is Western Maverick. The trainer, Al Tomlinson. Tomlinson's statistics, 191 starts, a win percentage of 16%, place percentage 20%, and the show percentage at 9%. The Universal Trainer Rating System gives him a percentage of 301. The totals for Gypsy Merlot: lifetime, 30 starts, 18 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. Earnings of $121,204. Took a mark of 151-2 at Hoosier Park as a 3-year-old. No starts in the year 2020. In 2019, however, 18 starts with 11 wins, 3 seconds, and 0/3. Earnings of $89,271, and of course took the mark of 151-2 at Hoosier as a 3-year-old.
We've mentioned our Top of the Stretch podcast on today's broadcast. This afternoon, our podcast featured Hunter Myers, back to racing following that 4-horse accident at Northfield.
We still need 2 more trotters here for race 12.
Hunter Myers returned to Northfield last night in the very first race and went right to the winner's circle. Hunter Myers, the subject of today's podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association Facebook page. Check it out.
All right, the last 2 horses are on their way. Let's get them together to line up the parade. I'll start putting postword for race 12. This is the second division of the 3-year-old filly trot, going for a purse of $4,726. Number 1 is Sushine and Rainbows, owned by Mini Acre Racing, Monroe, Indiana, trained and driven by Rosie Weaver. Number 2 is Look and Count, owned by Tim Roach of Columbiaville, Michigan, and Elena Terwilliger of Otisville, Michigan, trained and driven by Tim Roach. Number 3 is Desert Storm Oz, owned by Dustin Heinzen of Marion, Indiana, trained and driven by Chad Clark. Number 4 is Victor's Royal Miss, Auburn. And number 5 is Bruins Babe, owned by Dick Griffith of Richwood, Ohio, trained by Jessica McCown, the driver Bo Brown. We have a field of 5. Only one has ever found the winner's circle, and that was in a qualifier. Number 3 horse, Desert Storm Oz, won a qualifier this year at Miami Valley in 2:01 4/5. It also has trotted in some miles less than 2 minutes this year also. The 1 horse and 2 horse I've trotted the 2 horses trotted a mile in 2 minutes and 3/5. I actually trotted a mile in 1:59 and 1/5 last year as a 2-year-old. And earlier this year as a 3-year-old, 1:59 and 1/5. And trot the 1 horse, Sushine and Rainbows, has trotted a mile in 2:2 and 1/5. And likewise, the 5 horse, Bruin's Babe, has trotted a mile in 2:2 and 1/5.
3 of the 5 had a rough way of staying flat. Looking count to 2 shows breaks in 3 straight starts. Stays flat in the qualifiers, but makes breaks in competition. The 4, Victor's Royal Miss. Last good line was at Tiffin last year, July 23rd. Finished out the season, 5 straight races, 5 straight breaks. Most of the problem at or near the start. And the 5, Bruin's Babe, shows breaks in all 4 lines, 2 racing efforts, and both qualifiers. 3-year-old filly trotters coming up in race 12.
Arsenal lining up down the backside on the way to the gate. Sushine and Rainbows moves in at the rail. And comes Look and Count, Desert Storm Oz, Victor's Royal Miss with Bruin's Babe on the outside. At the post, starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. They're off and trotting us. Desert Storm Oz going out after Toledo along with Sushine and Rainbows. Moving up third is Victor's Royal Miss. Off stride fourth it is Bruin's Babe, and off stride fifth is Look and Count. As they head down the backside, racing over toward that quarter-mile mark, Chad Clark has Desert Storm Oz on top by 2.5 lengths. Trotting second is Sushine and Rainbows, driven by Rosie Weaver. And farther back third comes Victor's Royal Miss, driven by Emma Wahlberg. Fourth is Look and Count, driven by Tim Roach. The last horse, Bruin's Babe, driven by Bo Brown. First quarter trotted in 31 and 4/5 seconds. Horses are strung out just a wee bit as they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Desert Storm Oz by 2.5 lengths over Sushine and Rainbows. Farther back third is Victor's Royal Miss. Look and Count trots fourth, and trailing is Bruin's Babe. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that's Chad Clark and Desert Storm Oz bringing the horses down to the half. Right there, close second is Sushine and Rainbows. Moving up third now is Look and Count. Fourth it is now Bruin's Babe, and the last horse, Victor's Royal Miss. First half trotted in 103 and 3/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. They've got to catch Desert Storm Oz. The closest horse second is Sushine and Rainbows. Look and Count trots third, Bruin's Babe fourth, and trailing is Victor's Royal Miss. Going to that 3/4 mile mark, Desert Storm Oz opens up about 3 lengths now on Sushine and Rainbows. 3 quarters trotted in 134 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt, that's Desert Storm Oz by 3 lengths over Sushine and Rainbows. Along the rail third is Look and Count, on the outside fourth, Bruin's Babe. As they race toward home, that's Desert Storm Oz and Sushine and Rainbows. Desert Storm Oz and Shining Rainbows. It's gonna be Desert Storm Oz, and here the outcome. Sioux Shining Rainbows up for second. Bruins Babe up for third. A mile in 2:04 and 3/5.
So the winner is Desert Storm Oz. Chad Clark. Sioux Shine Rainbows, Rosie Weaver was second. So the three horses that have been troubled with breaks continue to break in the 12th, the 2, 4, and 5. Desert Storm Oz, a 3-year-old filly by Storm and Norman out of Savannah Dream. Dustin Heinzen of Marion, Indiana, the owner. Maiden Victory, 2:04 and 3. Final half, 1:01. Final quarter, 30 1/5.
Desert Storm AS was an easy winner in that ring. And Sunshine Meadows. Sunshine Meadows is trotted a good mile in about 2:05.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go, coming in from Marion, Indiana, comes number 3, Desert Storm Oz, owned by Dustin Heinzen and trained into the victory by Chad Clark. Let's have a big hand here for Chad Clark and Desert Storm Oz. There are the official placings for race 12 from the top. Number 1, Sioux Shining Rainbows was second. Number 2, Look and Count was fourth. Number 3, Desert Storm Oz was the winner. Number 4, Victor's Royal Miss was fifth. And number 5, Bruins Babe was third. Time of the first quarter was 31 and 4/5. The half was in 1:03 and 3/5. The 3 quarters in 1:34 and 2/5. With a mile in 2:04 and 3/5. From the top, it should read 2, 4, 1, 5, 3 on the bottom. A mile in 2:04 and 3/5.
I know this be celebrating at the Roy Justice Barn in Marysville because Emma Wahlberg kept the Victor's Royal Miss flat, and she trotted her a mile. Believe me, that takes a sigh of relief. But we'll be coming up to the 13th and final race. It's a 3-year-old filly pace here at Paulding. But now, a word from our sponsors.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is home to 7 of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, including world champion Dancing Yankee, standing his first season in Ohio. The lineup also includes world champion and 2-time Dan Patch Trotting Colt of the Year Lucky Chucky and Breeders' Crown champion Rocket Amadeus. See the entire roster of stallions at coolwindfarms.com. Cool Winds Farm, standing in Ohio since 2002.
Back here for the 13th and final. Field of 5 in the 3-year-old filly pace.
I can hear him. Is he live?
Hey, Tom,
Yes, sir.
are you going to be at Circleville Saturday and Sunday?
If they allow me in town, I might be there.
I'll have to check the post office and see if your picture's
Yes,
up.
well, I do take a nice picture, though. I admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Circleville.
remember down in Aiken, I took 10 pictures of you, and one of them came out pretty good.
And that was the last one that broke the camera. I avoid the camera. They're trying to get me off the mic, but that's going to be more difficult. But the Circleville was Pickaway County. That's going to be that's a nice fair. 2 days, and that's going to be on Sunday and Monday.
Is it Sunday, Monday? I thought it was Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. They moved it. Last year it was, last year was on a Sunday, but I hate to say the dreaded word rain, but it rained, and it rained well. And we had to move it to Monday. We had an awful long card of, I think we had about 22 races then. But it's a good time down in the Circle. All you folks, you like fair racing. If your Circleville is just about 40 miles south of Columbus, and it's nice weather. Come on over. It's because I know they're going to have a live. They've opened up the fairgrounds to the public, and this will be our first public fair. And as we ride out the COVID virus, we got to wear your masks, keep your social distances. 6 feet. Some people it's 10 feet, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, 13th, this 3-year-old filly pace. Paulding, thank you for having us here. This is it's a beautiful racetrack, always has been. 160 years. And people treat you well. And I see Mike getting his starting gate underway. This will be our final of the year. I want to thank the judges. Judges do a great job. They keep an eye on me. They keep an eye on everybody. But and it's just beautiful weather. This is Ohio fair weather. And they say, oh me, oh my Ohio. But OHH wants to thank everybody. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference. It's 21 members strong, 22 members strong. And we'll be hitting 66 county fairs. Stop by and see us. Play our contests. But it's...
All right, you're all now. Let's get them together, line up to parade.
They are coming out now. Here are your horses for the 13th race.
One thing we might
Also
also
pretty
add
postword for race 13. This is our getaway race for the 2020 Paulding County Fair. It's the third division of the 3-year-old filly pace, going for a purse of $3,378. Number 1 is Riveter Rose, owned by Miller Racing Stable Incorporated, Greenville, Ohio, and the Horseplay Racing Stable, Grove City, Ohio, and Amazing Racing Stable, Middle Point, Ohio, trained by Ryan Miller, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 2 is Stable Creek K, owned by Barb Lewis of Upper Sandusky, Ohio, and Elizabeth Cheeseman of Bridgeton, New Jersey, trained by Barb Lewis, the driver, Cody Greeno. Number 3 is Nature's Dream, owned by Jerry Migel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver, Wally McElmurray Jr. Number 4 is Time Sensitive, owned by Anthony Marshall and Kevin Pease of Salina, trained by Phil Belanger, driven by Justin Belanger. Number 5 is Stephanie's Hope, owned by Tommy Householder, Delaware, Ohio, trained by Russell Early III, the driver, Emma Wahlberg. We have a field of 5. 3 of them have found the winner's circle. The number 1 horse, Riveter Rose, had a win last year at Cortland in 2:08 1/5. The number 3 horse, Nature's Dream, had 5 wins last year, the fastest being at Wauseon in 2:02 3/5. Nature's Dream was the runner-up last year in the 2-year-old filly pace for the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. And number 4, Time Sensitive, and it won a qualifier last year in 2:01 2/5 at Northfield, but has a win this year at Saturday Downs in 1:55 1/5. Stephanie's Hope has 1 lifetime start without any earnings, and number 2, Stable Creek K, is making her first lifetime start.
Field of 5 in the 13th. I started to say that should be pointed out that fans once again will be permitted at the parimutuel tracks this weekend. Starting Friday night, fans will be permitted at Scioto Downs and at Northfield Park. And of course, protocols will be in effect. So if you're going to the races Friday or Saturday night, be sure you take your mask along and stay your distance and enjoy live harness racing at Scioto Downs and Northfield Park as fans once again permitted starting Friday night of this week.
And that, Roger, sounds as a good ring to it. Fans will be permitted. We will be back and racing. We will get back because we are racing. We are Ohio strong. And the horses are moving in behind the gate. Here's Bill Peters.
On the way to the gate, Riveter Rose moves in at the rail. Then comes Stable Creek K, Nature's Dream, Time Sensitive, with Stephanie's Hope on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling. Your final race here for the 2020 Paulding County Fair. Here they come. They're off and pacing as Time Sensitive on the outside, going out after the lead along with Stable Creek K down at the rail. That's Stable Creek K with the lead on the outside, second Time Sensitive. Moving up third is Nature's Dream. Dropping in there fourth is Riveter Rose, and the last horse is Stephanie's Hope. Making the turn now to head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Justin Belanger is out and on the move with Time Sensitive, and she takes over. Dropping back second is Stable Creek K, driven by Cody Greeno. In their third is Nature's Dream, driven by Wally McElmurray Jr. Fourth, it is Riveter Rose, driven by Pierce Henry, and the last horse is Stephanie Hope, driven by Emma Warburg. First quarter paced in 31 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, that's Time Sensitive by a length and a half over Stable Creek K. Racing in their third, Nature's Dream. Riveter Rose is fourth. Moving up on the outside fifth, now comes Stephanie's Hope. All five fillies pretty well bunched as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Justin Belanger and Time Sensitive bringing the horses down to the half. Length and a half back second, Stable Creek K. Stephanie's Hope is now third on the outside. First half paced in 103 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that three-quarter mile mark. That's Time Sensitive along the rail with the lead, pouring on the pressure on the outside. Second is Stephanie's Hope. At the rail third, that's Stable Creek K. Fourth is Nature's Dream. Edging up on the outside fifth is Riveter Rose. Going to that three-quarter mile mark. That is still Time Sensitive along the rail, but sticking your nose out in front on the outside now is Stephanie's Hope. Back to second, Time Sensitive with Stable Creek K third and ready to move. Three quarters in 134 and 1/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. Now Time Sensitive regains the lead along the rail as Stephanie's Hope begins to fade a little bit. Three wide comes Stable Creek K, and looking for racing room is Nature's Dream.